Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we are going to see one of every NBA player returned to their home state team. So I know like a few weeks ago, I believe Jidel did this. So shout out to him for doing it first. I was going to do it a few weeks ago myself, but then I saw he uploaded it. So I decided to wait on it because Franchise City, the YouTuber, actually made me this awesome roster, guys, with all these players on their team. So I definitely wanted to use this roster for a video. Guys, go check out Franchise City's channel if you like rebuilds, challenges, things like that. He does an awesome job. He puts in so many hours making these awesome rosters so we can enjoy them for a video. So basically what he did is he took every single player and put them on their home state team. In a lot of cases, you're going to see some teams that did not really quite have enough players to fill out a roster. Like the Utah Jazz only had I believe I don't remember. I think John Collins and maybe one other player. So those teams are going to have some added free agents, players that did not exactly make the cut for their home state team roster. Because some of these, teams, they have 20, 30 players from their home state. So of course you can only have, you cannot have that many players on an official NBA roster. So yeah, we're going to go through these teams. Right here we do have the Philadelphia 76ers. Team's definitely not looking too bad out there. Not really much as far as centers go. Actually, I don't think they have a single center on their team. Amir Johnson, I guess, can play it. But you're probably going to see a small ball line with the Morris twins at the power forward and center position. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I believe this is one of the teams that had literally no players at all for the Milwaukee Bucks team. Maybe Tony Allen was on there, but I think for the most part it was just free agents and stuff like that. For the Chicago Bulls, this team is looking pretty damn extra crispy, guys. Anthony Davis, Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker, D Wade, and Robert Covington. That right there is already a fantastic five-man lineup, and then the bench unit is pretty solid itself. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, you have LeBron James, CJ McCollum, Scary Terry, Larry Nance Jr., and Karis LeVert. And then for the Boston Celtics, Drummond, I had no idea that Drummond was from the Boston area because I know that he has a lot of beef with the Celtics out there. So I was very surprised by that. For the Los Angeles Clippers, you have Darren Collison, Spencer Dinwiddie, Trevor Ariza, DeLon Wright, and Alan Crabb. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Otto Porter, Bobby Portis, Thaddeus Young, Ish Smith, and OG Anunoby. For the Atlanta Hawks, Jaylen Brown, Lou Will, Eric Bledsoe, and then of course Dwight Howard. Miami Heat with Buddy Hield, Tim Hardaway. That's a lot of shooting just right there, man. Jonathan Isaac, Montrezl Harrell. For the Hornets, this team is stacked at point guard, man. I had no idea there was this many good point guards from the Charlotte area. Stephen Curry, Chris Paul, John Wall, and then of course, guys, Sam Whiteside going to be catching oops every single day. I have no idea how this lineup's going to work out, 3 point guards, but I'm sure, I thought it's something with the rotation. For the Jazz, you do have John Collins, James Johnson, and then that's it. The rest of these guys are just free agent toss-ons. For the Kings, Ryan Anderson. For the Knicks, you do have Donovan Mitchell and Kemba Walker with Tobias Harris. I love that for a three-man lineup. Then, of course, you got Kyle Anderson, who's, in theory, a pretty good all-around player, and then Mohamed Bamba at center. For the Los Angeles Lakers, you do have James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, DeRozan, Klay Thompson, Paul George, Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, and Dwayne Dedmon with Jordan Bell. Basically, what he did with this team is because he looked at where the players were closest to, on the geographical map. I don't know, man. I failed freaking 4th grade social studies, okay? So don't ask me for these big bitch-ass words. I also had speech class, believe it or not. You probably believe it's how fast I talk sometimes. But yeah, so all these guys lived closer, I guess, to... I don't know, man, because y'all got the Clippers out there. I don't know. Maybe they were fans of the Lakers. I don't know how that all works. But yeah, this is the team right there, essentially. For the Orlando Magic, you have Joel Embiid with Ben Simmons. It's like I've seen that connection before in my life before, man. Austin Rivers, Gerald Green, TJ Augustine. By the way, if you guys do want to see the full roster, I'll look up Franchise City. Actually, it's... Schlog L Bagel is what his name is. I don't know if you can spell it or not, but you can find that roster around there. For the Dallas Mavericks, we have LaMarcus Aldridge, Julius Randle, Miles Turner, Marcus Smart, Pascal Siakam, and CJ Miles. For the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie with Carl, Alex Len, Taj Gibson, Kyle O'Quinn. For the Denver Nuggets, Reggie Jackson, Trey Lyles, Tony Parker. I'm pretty sure this is another filler team because Tony Parker is not from Denver, as far as I know. Indiana Pacers with Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, Mike Conley. That's a nice looking team. A lot of guards though, man. Once again, the center position, power forward position, the Z-Bo is going to be at center. For the Pelicans, you got Boogie out there with Paul Millsap, Alfred Payton, Greg Monroe, Michael Porter Jr. For my Detroit Pistons, you got Devin Booker, Draymond Green, Al Horford. I had no idea Al Horford was from Michigan. I had no idea. Kuzma, I know, is from Flint. Josh Jackson, I believe, is from Flint. So is JaVale McGee. And I believe, actually, Devin Booker is from Grand Rapids, which actually is the home of the G League team, the Grand Rapids Drive, for the Detroit Pistons. Toronto Raptors, of course, Canada, you have Jamal Murray, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell. And then I'm pretty sure there's yeah, man, there's actually a lot of good Canadian players. Houston Rockets, Jimmy Butler, DeAndre Jordan, De'Aaron Fox, Justice Winslow. I see Jonathan Simmons on there. For the San Antonio Spurs, you got Taurean Prince. You got Jared Allen, John Henson. So some pretty solid big guys on that team. Of course, here is your Phoenix Suns. Believe it or not, man, the Phoenix Suns once again have no bitch-ass point guard, as Eli Okubo is from the team, and he's actually going to be their starting point guard with DeAnthony Melton. So maybe Austin Rivers in real life is going to run point guard. Who knows? OKC with Blake Griffin, Willie Cauley-Stein, Josh Richardson, Trae Young, Alec Burks. Not a bad little squad. You got the Timberwolves with Harrison Barnes, Kyle Korver. Trailblazers, Zach LaVine, K Love, Isaiah Thomas, DeJounte Murray, Avery Bradley. Then you got the Golden State Warriors. You do have Damian Lillard. I have no idea he was from the Golden State area. But then you got Washington Wizards with Kevin Durant, Oladipo, Will Barton, Carmelo Anthony, and Rudy Gay. Guys, let me know in the comment section below which team you think is going to win it all. I definitely have my money on the Los Angeles Lakers because their team is just completely stacked. And that's actually the team we are going to look at because, believe it or not, man, we may have an A2-0 challenge here in our hands. This could be a video within a video. So, let's go ahead and simulate through date right here and get going with that. Well, they took an L in the season to start it. So, yeah, man, I have a question. Where do you guys think, like, a lot of the NBA talent comes from in this world? Like, do you feel like it's all from, like, the same area, like the same few states generally have, like, the best basketball programs? Or do you feel like there's, like, gems all over the place? Because I've always found it interesting from, like, an NBA scouting standpoint. Like, how do you come across certain players, especially international guys? Like, how do you just, like, there's this really good international player playing over in this part of the world against talent that's probably not as good as college talent for the most part. And, like, how do they just, like, come across that guy? And how do they know that player is going to be great in the NBA scenario? I know you got, like, Luka Doncic, but that's kind of a poor example because I know, like, the league he was in. It was probably, like, the second best league in the world behind the NBA, right? And he was, like, killing at the age of 18, getting, like, MVPs and things like that. So, I don't know, man. I always thought, like, an NBA scout would be a very interesting job. Because you also got to think about, too, in some cases where they don't get it right, where maybe there is a really good player out there that nobody gives a chance to. Like Big Ben Wallace. He was literally undrafted, and then he was one of the best defensive players of all time for the Detroit Pistons. So it's like, is there somebody out there that is, like, deemed the next LeBron James skill-wise? But then it's just like they never get the chance because maybe the right person or right scout does not come across them. I don't know, man. And then actually, I was watching some NBA games yesterday, and my little brother actually asked me, like, what in general makes a good NBA player? Like, what makes you transition from that college role over to the actual NBA? Because in a lot of cases, it's, you know, you see the really, like physical players, like Hasheem Thabeet, get drafted to the NBA, but then they end up being a bust. And then you have, like, really, like, smart NBA, or you have, like, really smart college players. The only one I can really think of, you know, I'm thinking of, like, short white dudes out there, like Spike Ulbrich, who was on the 2013 Michigan team, who he killed it, like, in the championship game, ended up losing to Louisville, of course. But you have, like, players like that who, like, kill in college, but then they end up being, like, an accountant in real life. And that's because, of course, they have the IQ, but they don't have the physical giftness out there. So I feel like being physically dominant is what's more important. Because you can get away with being physically dominant, but not having the strongest IQ. But in a lot of cases, you have, like, LeBron James, who is simply both. You have, like, Zion Williamson, who simply has both and just dominates college himself because, of course, Zion is, 6'7", 285 or something like that. So I feel like that's what makes a great NBA player, is somebody that can not only physically dominate over everybody, but also has the IQ to make the smart plays out there, right? Of course, LeBron never went to college, but he was just so smart at the game of basketball that he kind of essentially skipped that stage, right, and just dominated right away. We have Lakers 67-15 on the season. We have Anthony Davis of the Chicago Bulls with MVP at 30 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks per game. Marvin Bagley, the third rookie of the year, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist on the Phoenix Suns. He's actually doing pretty solid in real life. Not that good, but still pretty solid. A lot of this also matters, too, because I don't know who else is on that Phoenix Suns roster, so he might be getting the ball a lot more. Julius Randle at 6. How does... Okay, he did get Rookie of the Year. Okay, I thought he got most improved for a sec. Julius Randle, a 6-man at 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Anthony Davis, no surprise there, defensive player. Most improved going towards Bobby Portis at 17 and 12. And James Borrego. Wow, the Charlotte Hornets team with those 3 point guards actually went 65 and 17. That's crazy, man. I got to check out these stats, though. All-NBA first team looking like this. No big-time surprises there. All-NBA second, with my boy Devin Booker of the Detroit Pistons making that. I wish we had Devin Booker in real life, man. We could have drafted him too, I believe. All-NBA third looking like this. Okay, Marvin Bagley making the All-NBA 13. That is a bit surprising to me. All defensive teams, and then we got all rookie teams. Of course, Eli Okubo as the starting point guard of the Phoenix Suns making that, so good for him. Okay, so for the seeding, we do have Charlotte, Indiana, Atlanta, Washington, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, and we got Lakers, Phoenix, Houston, Dallas. That'll be a fun matchup. OKC, New Orleans, and then we got Portland and Golden State. Let's check out these player stats real quick here. If you guys do want to pause on your favorite team, feel free to do so, as I'm going to go scroll through it pretty quickly here, but let's look at this Lakers team real quick here, though, man, with all the superstars on it. Like, nobody really dominated, but that's because you had, like, so much talent on one team. Like, how do you work that out? But at the same time, the efficiency of the team was pretty damn nice. Here we go. Wow, we got Kyrie at dropping 36 a game. Might actually be league leader right there. And I also want to check out that Charlotte Hornets team when you come across them, because I got to see how that three-point guard lineup did. Yo, Kyle Korver, man, dropping 13 points a game. Yo, y'all know the T-Wolves is not going to be doing great when Kyle Korver's your second leading scorer. Nothing against him. No disrespect at all. Just saying, like, he ain't that player no more, man. I mean, he's still good. He's just not that player. You're going to be your second leading scorer of your team. We got Javon Carter as your leading scorer for the Bucks. Bulls team at 30 points, so nice on them for Anthony Davis. Cavaliers with LeBron, CJ McCollum. CJ would actually be a pristine fit for LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? All right, we passed the Hornets yet? No, we did not. So we got Steph Curry at about 24 points, 15 for Chris Paul Middleton right there, John Wall right there. Okay, I mean, nobody really stood out. Like, yeah, Curry played nice and everything, but it wasn't absolutely crazy. And then now we're at the Lakers. We'll check out the league leaders real quick so you guys see who led the NBA in points per game. You know, even Amir Johnson got himself 1.6, so shout out to him. But yes, these are the top scorers based off their home state team. We'll go like the top 50, just so you guys can see all that. All right, now we got the playoffs. I'm still saying Lakers. I'm still saying Lakers probably in the NBA Finals. I'm going to say against the Charlotte Hornets. We're going to go with the number 1 seeds here. Thankfully, the Toronto Raptors didn't make the damn playoffs. We all know they would have ended up dominating it. And actually, the Pacers are giving the Hornets run for the money as the 8th seed, so we'll see what happens there. And, okay, the Pacers did lose. So we do have the Lakers, Houston, New Orleans, Golden State, Charlotte, Atlanta, and Chicago in Brooklyn. LeBron James got knocked out by the Brooklyn Nets. Simulate current round. Yeah, definitely going with Lakers, Charlotte now. Chicago Bulls gone. Yo, who's on this Brooklyn team, man? They freaking sweeping out. I guess they didn't sweep, but they did sweep somebody. Wow, Hornets also got eliminated by the Atlanta Hawks. Let's check out these closeout games. So what's that? Jaylen Brown, Eric Bledsoe, DeMar Carroll, Dwight Howard. Okay. And then over here, this Brooklyn Nets team with Kyrie Irving and Karl-Anthony Towns. Offensively, that is just great. Look at Karl-Anthony Towns dropping that 5 for 5 out there. And then the Golden State team, it's still Golden State apparently, so I guess they're still the most amazing thing out there. They got Damian Lillard, though. And then, of course, we know the Lakers team. So simulate current round right here, see how this goes. And it's looking like we're going to have, yeah, the Nets are gone. So we do have the Atlanta Hawks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I got to imagine this is going to be a sweep. I am so surprised about this Hawks team. I don't know what it is about them, but they're just dominating. In the Lakers, you got Russell at 21, 15, and 6, 21 for DeMar DeRozan. Kawhi Leonard on this team, too. It's just unfair, man. Simulate current round. It's going to be a sweep, no doubt. Oh my God! Whoa, baby! Oh my God, man! Dwight Howard, the most elite player in the NBA. Oh my God, dude. Bro. Wow. I can say real quick, guys, I was not expecting this in the video. Guys, drop a like if you were not expecting the Atlanta Hawks to win it all, because I wasn't. Oh my God, wow. Well, shout out to the Hawks Nation out there, man. I guess you guys got the most talented players of all time on your team. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel. And once again, man, shout out to Franchise City for, of course, making this roster. And shout out to Jydell for being the first one to do this video this year. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.